little windy, but we're New Yorkers, we're tough, and you know what? It's pretty cold at Valley Forge, too. They stood up to the cold, and they stood up to tyranny, and we're going to do the same thing. We owe them that respect, we owe them that honor, we owe them everything. We're going to stand here, we're going to brave this, we're going to be patriots, and we're going to do this peacefully. Let me just tell you this. This was by far my most difficult week in all.
Yeah.
Those of us here on stage in elected office, we stood up for you and your rights, and our best efforts were defeated, but this battle is not over, it has just begun. And I want to say to those who emailed and wrote and commented on those YouTube videos, and I hope you saw those. And anybody that messaged me, I just want to know, I just want to tell you, I've been having a lot on my heart. We got phone calls and emails. We'd hang up the phone and ring again. And on behalf of me and all the elected officials that you reached out to, thank you, because I can tell you this. For people with courage and honor, Albany can be a lonely place. But I don't work for this government. And I don't work for that building. Registered to vote. And if you are not, there's no shame in that, but fix it. Register to vote. Make sure your friends, your families, your cousins, your nephews, your nieces, your grandchildren, the person you see at Stewart's getting coffee, make sure they're registered to vote, because this proves how important the votes are, doesn't it? We talk a lot about violence with guns. I don't call it gun violence, it's violence with guns. We talk a lot about that this week. But you know what happened this week? Political violence happened this week. Political bullying ruled the day. Bills that were rushed through with no debate in the Senate. And despite our valiant efforts in the Assembly, we knew the foregone conclusion in that chamber. We stood up and we fought. Bills that debated on the floor of that bill. Speak up, I can't, I'm yelling at the crowd. Here we go. When I debated this bill on the floor, and I asked why we are diminishing the people's right to defend themselves by 30% by lowering from 10 to 7 rounds, you know what the answer was? Change the clip. And I say to you what I say to them. You tell that to my people. You tell that to the people I represent in this rural area of upstate New York. A single mom who may be home alone with her children at night and 3 animals break into that house. What do you want to do? Call time out so you can reload? Let's pass that law. How about that? Pass a timeout law that the criminals have to obey so you can reload. And of course we know that's stupid. You know why? Because criminals don't obey the law. We rushed this bill through. Do you know why? Not because they were proud of it. Government never moves this fast except when they're taking away your rights. This through because they were not proud of it, and they knew that they'd have this on this lawn if they stood up and had the courage to do it in daylight hours and give you the time to respond to what's going on in Albany. I say shame on this assembly, shame on the legislature, shame on the Senate, and shame on this governor for doing this to the people of New York without giving it the proper respect it deserves, without giving it the debate it deserves. You cannot legislate evil people bent on destruction. You cannot legislate morality. You cannot make people safer by making criminals stronger. But you sure as hell can defend yourself against those animals. And you have every right to do that. And you should not be limited in your ability to do so. By lowering those limits to 7 in a magazine, you have diminished our right to defend ourselves, and I say, how dare they? How dare this governor do that to the people of New York State? Let me say this, we will not yield. We will not break. We will grow stronger by the day throughout this state and this nation because law-abiding, Constitution-respecting, freedom-loving Americans are now engaged like never before. The media is here, thank you. The governor did not weaken us. He awakened us. He did not defeat us. He strengthened us. A people that do not possess the right to bear arms are no longer citizens, they are subjects. I choose, we choose to be free citizens of these United States. Listen to my voice, Governor. Listen to the voice of a nation that loves their liberty. No one in the Assembly, no one in the Senate, no one in the governor's office is fit to shine the boots of the founding fathers of this nation. How dare you trample on the Constitution? How dare you infringe upon the rights of American citizens? Those rights were not granted by any man or any government. They are granted by God, and they are inalienable. They are ours. They are our birthright as Americans. We will not stand idly by and have them diminished. Clear eyes, full hearts, America cannot lose. Freedom cannot lose. God bless the freedom-loving and law-abiding citizens of America. And thank you so much for being here.
Can I hear it again? talked about this? You know what this is? It's a registration form. No, your voter registration form. If you have not yet, first of all, what the hell is wrong with you? If you have not registered to vote, get your ass over to that table and register. Because that's the only way we're going to make a difference. Everybody in this crowd, and I have to say, this is the largest crowd I've ever seen here. Am I right? I think I'm right. This is the largest crowd I've ever seen here in this space. And we are all proud Americans. Are we not proud?